You. Since we only have 5 minutes, I wanted to hop right into it. We learned just today that as a result of our communication during the abortion debate, and we spoke of the Handmaid's Tale, that the Anderson County has decided that they're going to be pulling the Handmaid's Tale, which is a 40-year-old book, from its shelves. And this is something that simply should not be tolerated. And it is interesting that we are here discussing now critical race theory type bills when here we are now we're having something pulled from the shelves just because of our discussion. And girls, did y'all know we were that powerful? I mean, I just did not know. You may have seen that we have gained national attention, and we all kind of was shocked by it. But apparently the interest is they did not think that Republican women would join with independent and then Democratic women, as well as several other of our Republican senators, and object to what we see as some oppressive abortion bans. They just did not expect it. But I was always confused because really there's always been a debate about abortion, and I went and looked up the history of it. So one of the things I did was look up the very first time that abortion was added to the Republican Party platform. That was done in 1976, and it was a result of Dobbs. It was right before, this Jimmy Carter was president then, and then it's carried on ever since. It has always fallen very low in the platform, usually 7th, 8th, or 9th. But now we have a Republican national chairwoman asking for it to be, brought up with every presidential candidate in our party, and I think that is going to hurt us. But what was very interesting to me is how it got on the platform to begin with. And how it got on the platform is that there were 28 delegates who were female in 1976 and opposed that it got put on the platform, and they struck a deal. And the deal was the Republican Party would support the Equal Rights Amendment and would not withdraw its support, and that was the trade-off. So they did not make a big problem out of it, but equal rights was supposed to be pushed in exchange for abortion being a part of the platform. You see how the equal rights thing worked out for us. We didn't do so well, certainly not in our state. However, what was really interesting to me, and this is what I hope my fellow Republicans will listen to, and I know it's something that the senator from Orr East, Senator Hembry, would agree with, what they said back then is that they recognized there was a vast discrepancy. They said that abortion is one of the most difficult and controversial issues of our time. It's undoubtedly a moral and personal issue, but it also involves complex questions relating to medical science and criminal justice. There are those in our party who favor complete support for the Supreme Court decision which permits abortion on demand. There are others who share convictions that the Supreme Court's decision must be changed by a constitutional amendment prohibiting all abortion. Others have yet to take a position, or they have assumed a stance somewhere in between the polar positions. So this has been going on for a very, very long time. And what we have done is we all have differing opinions, but it's still something that has been around. It wasn't our brainchild. It's just something that we all felt. But here's the beautiful part. What the party ultimately recommended is that there be a referendum on the issue of abortion. Our own party, National Party, in 1976 recommended a referendum on abortion. I hope maybe we can pop back to 1976, take one of those fast cars back to the future, or however that goes. Yeah. She remembers. She was having a baby at that time. But the point being that now here we are as a result of our words, somehow or another, we have extremists who are trying to take away a book. I read it for the first time right after law school. It's been around forever. What are you going to do? Stop Netflix? I mean, that same book is the genesis for a very popular series that's now going into its 6th and final season. We cannot, the more you tell our kids they can't read something, they are going to get it. That's just like me. We all do that. When somebody tells us we can't do something, what do we want to do? We want to go do it. I submit that we're going down the wrong path with respect to abortion. I think we're going down the wrong path with respect to trying to censor things. And we just all wanted to make that point and say, let's do exactly what Governor Beasley said. Let's try to find some common ground in the middle. I would like to do that. I think we should. We have become contentious. But I looked at that man. Governor Beasley never looked at notes. He didn't have a teleprompter, and he never once misspoke. I wish I could be like that. But what he had to say was very powerful, coming from a former Republican governor who underwent some controversy, and here he is now still trying to bring us all together. I appreciate that, and I appreciate your attention. Is anybody else?
Thank you, Senator from Charleston.